What a total shambles this transfer window has been. At the start of this window, it was clear we needed at least two new players, a new left back and a striker. We've had Dalot playing left back, but let's be honest, he's not been good enough and he's playing out of position, so you can't even blame him. But the biggest issue that we've had in this United team is the lack of goals. We've had Højlund and Zertsky leading the line who've not been good enough, and they were never going to be good enough. Both of them were players that we bought in as potential talent, as potentially being good. They were never going to be the first team strikers for us. I mean, they should have been our backup players, but they're not. And now we're hearing fans and some people saying that Ruben Amorim might be walking, but that's very unlikely. You very rarely see managers walking out of jobs like this, no matter what's going on. And Amorim will stay and fight, because that's the type of guy he is. Also, some fans and journalists have put the lack of business by United in their transfer window down to the PSR rules. In fact, we've heard this from United themselves, who wrote back to a fan group saying that PSR is an issue and they can't go out buying more players and investing more when they're making a loss each year. Maybe this was Ineos and the Glazers saying we're not going to be buying any more players this January transfer window. But for me, PSR is total rubbish. You can see this when you look over at Man City, who've spent over 100 million just in this January transfer window, and other clubs in the Premier League are not far behind. Man United, who are in the bottom half of the Premier League table, had even more of an incentive to go out there and improve this squad, but have failed to do so. So who is to blame? Some fans rightly saying Ineos are to blame, but this is only partly true. Yes, they are running the footballing side of things, but in reality, the Glazers still own the majority of the club and still provide the finance for the club. And the point everyone is missing is that Man United are in PSR difficulty because of the debt the Glazers have imposed on the club. That's why United, despite actually making millions of profit each year, can't balance the books. This is why other clubs like City and the like, with no or little debt, can easily go out and buy players they want to and still balance the books. We all know the elephant in the room has been the Glazers for years, and at times we've spoken up against them, but ultimately we are helpless. The Glazers have got their golden goose in Man United, and there's no power on earth that will get them to drop it and move on. The Glazers, generations after generation, will hold on tight to this golden goose that, despite such poor performances on the pitch, keeps making them money each year. The only time the Glazers were in trouble and were forced to look for outside investment was a few years ago, and hence fans thought they put the club up for sale. But this was false information. The Glazers never put the club up for sale and were never going to consider any full takeovers. They wanted investment and investment only, and the knight in shining armour, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, turned up. And we said it at that time, that this was the worst thing that could have happened to United. But we were drowned out by other fans pointing out that Sir Jim was English and therefore understood football more than anybody else, and was a local boy and was going to put billions into United. Those fans clearly hadn't seen what he had done to Club Nice for years, or didn't hear that this knight in shining armour, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, had made a bid for Chelsea just 12 months before his bid for Man United. The reality is that the day the Glazers took over and stole this club all those years ago signalled the downfall of this great club. They bought United with a huge amount of debt, something that is no longer even allowed. But not only did they do that, they took that debt and offloaded in the entirety of it onto Man United as the club, and the rest is history. Right now, what we have is a scapegoat in Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Fans can't challenge their anger at the Glazers anymore because the face of the club is now Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And frankly, Sir Jim and his boys don't give a damn about bad press and fans kicking off. They know too well that football fans are easily led astray and fooled by a few easy small gimmicks. Now, I've heard some fans and some fan channels claiming that the lack of signings this January transfer window means nothing because we're going to go out there this summer and really go all out. But I wouldn't hold my breath. Seriously, some fans say that the season is already over and there's nothing to play for. But that is absolute rubbish. We've got the Europa League to play for, and we've got a way back into Europe. This is the problem. The lack of ambition shown by United is really and truly scary, because we are a club that should be looking at the way of coming back to the top, not saying, okay, this is the best we can do, rest right off the season, let's not compete in the likes of the Europa League, let's not bother with it. Absolutely heads gone moment, isn't it? Why are we not kicking off about this? Why are fans sitting there saying, oh, this is the best we can do, this is the best, yes, it's fine, we've not made any signings, look, let's accept our fate. This is absolutely ridiculous. As Man United fans, we must understand one basic thing. If the Glazers remain as the owners of Man United and the debt remains on United as it is, we will not succeed. There's nothing that we can do that will pull us out of this deep hole that we're in right now, and there's no player, no manager, no structure that can pull us out of this. Make sure you hit the like button on this video, make sure you subscribe. You are watching the Man United Stream channel.